Ethan, are you a Trump supporter?
Well, damn, of course I am. What do you take me for, a pussy-ass liberal?
Well, alrighty then. We got a fellow patriot here.
Patriot, yeah.
We gonna do our southern accents then?
No, we're not doing this.
We're doing our southern accents for this video. So Donald Trump is running again in 2024.
Oh, cool.
So he's going up against Meatball Ron DeSantis, Mr. DeSanctimonious, as he calls him, Ron DeSanctis, and a bunch of other Republicans that don't even bother learning their names.
They don't matter.
Don't even bother learning their names, dude. I don't even care, okay? If you try to tell me the name of any other Republican running in the primaries against DeSantis and Trump, I will actively plug my ears and go la 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 la, because I don't have the memory storage space for people that are that irrelevant to politics, okay? They don't matter. It's definitely going to be Donald Trump, I think, that wins the primary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that Ron DeSantis has the ability to pull through. He's very evil, and he's very shitty, and he's, like, very meticulous and diabolical and all that. And I think he's got a strong hold over Florida, but I really don't think he can win.
I actually think DeSantis going after Disney is going to hurt him. I've never seen a group that loves Trump and loves Disney as much as BWWs, all right? There is no group that loves Disney and Trump more than big white women, okay? DeSantis is going to lose the big white women vote.
I mean, let's be nice. Let's be nice. You're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
Fuck.
Anyway, seeing as Donald Trump is potentially going to be running, or is going to be running very soon, in the just straight up, what's it called? Not the primary, the general election, up against Biden, no doubt, once again, because there's no way that Meatball Ron beats him. He has gone on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox News for an interview. Have you ever watched an actual Tucker Carlson segment, Ethan?
Dude, you know what I used to do? My mom, back in high school, I got in trouble for texting a girl, and I wasn't meant to even have a phone at the time. And I ended up having nothing in my room, so I fished out of my TV. I fished out a little antenna, okay? And I hooked it up to my TV because I didn't have anything else in my room at the time. And I thought, you know, it'd be really fucking funny watching Fox News and just taking it in, really feeling it. And honestly, I'd say Tucker Carlson stepped in where my father did. I'm familiar, yes.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, let's say hi to Cucker and Trumper. Isn't it wild that the Republican primary is currently between a guy named Ronald and a guy named Donald?
Don't do this. You're high. Watch the video.
We'll stay in the race.
Look, I watch him just like you do, and I think it's almost inappropriate.
I watch him just like you do. Why does that sound like Why does that sound like he's talking about church rather than Tucker?
I think
I go to church just like you all do. I'm a fellow Christian. I watch Tucker Carlson.
He's talking to Tucker right now. Here, watch.
Do you think Biden will stay in the race?
Oh, Biden. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I watch him just like you do, and I think it's almost inappropriate for me to say it, but I deal with other people. I don't see how it's possible, and it's not an age thing. You know, like I say, I have friends that are 88, 89, 92.
Biden's like 4 years older than Trump, isn't he? How old's Trump? He's like 76 right now, isn't he?
I think he's like 80, no? Like he just hit 80 or something?
Trump's in his 70s at least. They're a year apart. Wait, they're a year apart. I remember the age argument being really popular during the previous...
76.
Trump is 76. Wow, I was correct. So yeah, Biden's 77, right?
Let me check. Fact checking.
Look up Biden's age. I know it ain't more than 5 years.
80.
80. Yeah,
Okay.
he's 4 years older. I was right from the start. My assumptions from the start were correct. Holy shit. Yeah, what is he talking about? Does Trump think his brain's going to be a melted burrito in 4 years too? I mean, it already is, but not in the way Biden's is. Like, literally all Biden's got going on is he's like he's a tired old man with like a stutter that really only gets worse the older you get. Like, that's the issue with Biden. That's why he gaffes so often, why he constantly trips over his words and he sounds funny and he fucks up when he's talking. It's because he's a tired old man, and he's got a stutter that he's had his whole life that only gets worse the older he gets.
You know, that's actually a misnomer. Biden has to slow himself down for us to be able to understand him. He's really fast, like a fast guy. Right?
Yeah, he's like
He's
Ben
holding himself
Shapiro.
back.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
steroids. Yeah,
That's why he stutters. No,
yeah,
but
that's true.
wouldn't it be great to have an election without like geriatrics?
Wouldn't it be dope to have an election where it was like just a bunch of Zoomer gamers on stage?
I do not want
screaming
that.
at each other.
I do not want that.
Like one really progressive Zoomer gamer, one Nazi Zoomer gamer, one like liberal Zoomer gamer, one centrist Zoomer gamer, and they're all just
We
screaming
can't
their
put
worst.
the leftist Zoomer gamer up there. They'll lose everything for anyone vaguely left of like.
We'll pick
Hitler's
someone good. We pick
inspirations.
the best.
We pick the best.
It's like the Spartan program.
Listen, because if we pick the best, you got a chance. If we pick the Fed, that seems to be dropped every time that progressivism seems to do well. You know, the one that you see in like TikTok every once in a while, who's really fucking annoying. It's over. We're done for.
Yeah. Zan, you're wrong. Biden has had 2 aneurysms. Demon Mama sent me, by the way. What's up? Oh, well, hi. Thank you, Demon Mama. Yeah, but also Trump has had lots of fucking weird health things. He obviously had COVID and recovered, but like,
Well, because
Trump's
Trump's
a-
DNA, or I mean, you. what did he say?
what?
Have you not heard the quote where he's like, "My body doesn't have DNA; it has USA."
God, no. Dude, I'm done.
Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, is 95. Smart as hell. He's sharp as he was. I mean, he's, you know, mentally. Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, founder of Home Depot, one of the founders.
Is he talking
I
about
mean,
the
I
founder
had
of
a
Home
meeting with
Depot?
him a few months ago. He was 100%. I know people that built their fortunes from
Talking
80
about
to
another one of his
90.
friends who's aging badly.
They were always struggling, and they made a fortune from 80 to 90. Couple of
Also, Kamala Harris becomes the president if Trump or if Biden has anything bad happen to him. And I'd say Kamala probably has like enough general support, the same as Biden, to like for Biden to be able to win the election and people still be fine if something happens to him and it end up being Kamala. Like, I think people hate Trump that much. I think Trump has enough popularity to win the primary easily within the Republican base. But I think outside of that, I think people are going to come out in droves once again to keep Trump out of office. And I think we're going to see even more than last time. Because how many Zoomers in the last 4 years who are super left-leaning have now aged into voting?
Fuck. I mean, the first part of Zoomers are really just all adults at this point. Like
Yeah, there's going to be so many fucking Zoomers. Like, it's going to be crazy.
people in particular. It's amazing. He's not too old. His age. I think they do the age thing because I'm 4 or 5 years behind. They say this is a way of getting Trump. Let's go.
I like how we said that. I'm 4 or 5 years behind. No, you're 4 years behind. You don't get to just add an extra year behind to make yourself a year younger for the conversation because you feel better that way. You can't just do that. That's not how age works, Trump. Like, is that how you? That's how Trump does it with girls, right? Yeah, she's 1 or 2 years over under 18.
there's like
1
a
2 years.
4-year margin error.
She's around 18. Like what?
Ah, she's closer to 18 than I am. Sorry, Jim.
That's such a Trump quote. Oh my god. How do I know that Trump has fucking said that, dude? Like, I can hear Trump saying that. Like,
With confidence, too.
with confidence, belting out, she's closer to 18 than I am. Oh my god. That's vile.
But there's something wrong. I saw his answer today on television about whether or not he was going to run to a very nice guy named Al Roker. When you can't get a softer question than that. That was a long answer, talking about the eggs and the this and that. Look.
Dude, I do miss how funny Trump is.
Yeah.
Trump is just an inherently silly little guy. You know, like
Yeah,
him being on
sure.
camera is always just, it is funny. Like I always want Trump to be there as like a guy that's like always having some kind of like deranged schizo fit in the background, but not having any ability to get power.
You know, like how emperors don't actually have power. Like they're just kind of ceremonial. Like the
Can
queen.
we make Trump like the queen, but literally he has no power, and it's just like a little goofy goober position he gets to have?
We give him a bald eagle and like some armed guards or something, and we post him up on a TV screen for a bit.
Yeah, but like it has to come with like a drawback, like an inconvenient malicious compliance type thing. Like Trump gets to be king, but like he has to be like a warrior king.
Sure.
Like he has to lead troops into battle.
Can we swap?
He gets to be king, but he has to lead our troops into battle.
I think we should swap all of America to Edo era like government, where we have Trump as our emperor and our shogun is the mighty Biden with his bombs. they lead our nation to great things.
America gets so woke it starts doing a monthly national theme. Like for 1 month we do Japan, then 1 month we do like Britain, and then another month we do like fucking like Mongolia, and then another month we do like every month we do like a general like large portion of the country that has a general sort of like visual vibe to it, and we overhaul the capital to look like that, and we just theme all of our laws after that.
So let's say we become some like highly advanced fucking like no morals bullshit like alien race in the future, right? How fucked would it be for like little gray A human beings in the future? Okay, they're going to a museum and they're gonna learn about Earth's like humanity's history, and they're gonna see these like little like biodomes we have where we're intentionally running them off of certain governments to show forms of governments for their class. I think that would be I think that'd be really fucking funny if they had little bubbles for people in the far future.
Wouldn't we run simulations though?
Will we run simulations? What's a better use? Chat. This sounds schizo. I'm just being funny here. What's like a better simulation than just actual? I think it would be easier for them to just run actual little biodomes if we're that advanced. That we're looking back on like government as a part of evolution. No.
To be fair, one of the most common things in sci-fi stories like Star Wars and even Halo is most people in the like colonized galaxy are poor.
Yeah.
Because by that point technology and AI has gotten so advanced that so much is automated that getting a good job is difficult. So everyone's scraping a by to make a living, or they're a big deal. Like there's a massive wealth gap.
What are we talking about? This is a stupid hypothetical that I detracted to. Sorry.
Yeah, we're stupid.
I don't think he can. But say what you want. They didn't expect him to get it.
Yeah.
You know, people could say he won an election. You know, it always goes, I got the most votes of any person, any sitting president in history. I was told if I got 15 million less, I couldn't lose.
He's desperate to try to get a W out of his L.
Yeah.
They're surrounded by vicious, smart people, radical left people, but they're very smart and they're very vicious. It's not him.
Thank you, Trump. Thank you for calling us smart. We are very smart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trump. That means a lot.
It's not him. He's now in Ireland. He's not going to have a news conference. When the world is exploding, I own property in Ireland. I'm not going to Ireland. The world is exploding around us. You could end up in a third world war, and this guy's going to be in.
Bro, Trump spent hundreds of days of his presidency golfing.
Yeah.
Okay? Hundreds of days of his presidency. He spent golfing. And he's mad that Biden went to Ireland and like got to hold a brick that his great-grandfather made.
Okay, so I thought, okay, maybe if it was like just he's at like a whatever critique if he's like out of office for something important. No, I can't think of anything more important than I am holding a brick made by my oppressed people's fucking father, because Irish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, when he's got boys in his fucking wing who are like Tucker Carlson abandoning my state during an actual fucking like disaster to go on a vacation with his family. I don't know.
That was Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz, sorry, tired.
Yeah, Ted Cruz just left Texas to freeze and went to like Cancun.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
in Ireland and not having a news conference. He hasn't had a news conference, I guess, in months. I saw today where he hasn't. It's been.
Well, he can't. So if he doesn't run, if he's taken out by his own party, or who knows what happens, but it doesn't seem like he's capable of running again, who does run?
Well, obviously, the one that they would talk about would be the vice president, Kamala. That would be the one that they talk about. But I don't think she's performed well on the big stage. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But there are a certain group of people that will go.
If it comes down to Kamala versus Trump, I think Trump probably wins.
I think Trump wins against Kamala.
I don't think most like normie centrist leaning types that would vote for Biden. I think there are quite a few people that would vote for Biden that wouldn't vote for a woman, period.
Imagine the nightmare that would happen if Kamala was our person running on the left, and you have to deal with people who are like saying like, oh, she's a former cop, we can't vote for her, and do nothing too.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of that.
Oh, Jesus. Do you think Bernie's going to run again? Has Bernie said anything?
Has he said anything? I'll check while we watch.
Are we going to have to deal with Bernie or Busters again? That'll be a nightmare.
Go crazy if it's not her. They're going to be very angry if it's not her. That's a problem. You have a very ambitious guy in California, but he's done a terrible job with the state. I used to get along great with him, when I was president. I got along really good, Gavin.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom?
I did, I really did. He was always very nice to me. He said the greatest things. He would say things like he's doing a great job. Oh, he was very
About
nice.
you?
About me. That's why I could never hit him, because he was so nice to me.
What? I mean, I imagine he's hit like, rhetorically, but like,
It took a second for me. I thought he just meant hit him.
That's why I could never go after him, because he was so nice to me. Why would you admit that, bro? For the record, Trump literally does everything for praise and applause. That's it.
By the way,
He's just a massive egomaniac.
as far as I know for Bernie, he doesn't know. He says probably he's kind of leaning on I'm in my years. I think he's 89 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he even should run.
Yeah, Bernie needs to vibe. Bernie needs to sit back and vibe. He needs to be sitting on a beach somewhere, like getting his dick sucked by hot socialist bisexual
I think
e-girls.
he absolutely deserves that, actually.
I feel like Bernie Sanders, well, he's married, but if he wasn't, if he was a single bachelor, there's probably an army of colored-haired, dyed-haired, like piercinged socialist pansexual
Bernie's 81.
that
81,
suck
my
his
bad.
dick.
He's 81, not 89. Thank you, chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just laying in wait, right? But I could, he was very nice to me, and relatively speaking.
I feel
Some
called
of them
out.
weren't.
True.
We did a good job for the governors, but they talk about
know
him.
who you
They
are.
talk about some others. I just don't see Biden doing it from a physical or a mental standpoint.
Yes.
I don't see it. But
These people said the same thing about Biden back in 2020, by the way. Like, clearly, if he's still running the country, he's still got the mental fortitude to do an election. We'll see when the time comes, but, I mean, he's still running the country.
it's been a crazy period of time in the world of politics. But he's surrounded by people. They expected Bernie to win. Now, Bernie's older than Biden, whether you like him or not. He's sharp. I watched him being interviewed the other day. He's 100% sharp. He hasn't lost much, if anything. Bernie Sanders. But
Donald Trump never really shit talks Bernie much, because there's never really been a big risk of them going head-to-head. But if Trump and Bernie were on the debate stage during the general election, it would be the showdown of the century.
I would give a lot to see that.
My hope is that there's an afterlife and that heaven exists, so I can look into the alternate reality where that happened and see how that goes. I need that so bad.
he's older. So it's not an age thing. I just don't see him.
So they're trying to prevent you from making it to the general election by tying you up in lawsuits, charging you with crimes. You've described the process.
It's the old Soviet process.
Okay,
Here's the thing.
Trump did the crime.
Yeah.
We know he did. It's just publicly known that he committed those crimes, among other things that he can be indicted for, and no doubt will be. He's just buying time.
Yeah. I think Trump could be doing like basically sabotage for the Republican Party right now.
Mm-mm.
No,
No, he's buying time because if he gets into power,
not intentional.
no doubt he
sabotage.
can. No doubt he thinks he can get himself out of trouble if he can get back into the presidency. I think he thinks that
No,
if
no.
he becomes president,
I think that
it'll
as well,
be the
and I think
last.
he's sabotaging them by doing that.
I think he thinks his term, if he gets elected, will be the last term any president ever serves because he will abolish term limits. Is probably his goal internally, and he and his own son has said they want to establish a Trump family dynasty in the White House.
Maybe I wasn't off with the Emperor comment earlier.
Mhm.
How fucking what would be the process of abolishing term limits, like legally? What would you have to go through for that?
Republican coup.
The old Soviet process. And you've described it as illegitimate. If this goes to trial and you get convicted, like how would you respond in the middle of a presidential campaign? How
Well,
would you
it's
respond?
so off. The statute of limitations are years off. It's hard to believe. You know, usually when you have something like this, the Democrats say, "Oh, he's terrible, guilty." The Democrats have even said, "I'm innocent." I watched some of the.
Who said that?
No one.
No one. I've never heard anyone say that. I'm gonna say an
Trump
honest.
just lies. Trump just makes things up all the time.
An honest man doesn't start off his defense with, "Oh well, statute of limitations." That's not something an honest man says.
You see, we're way past the statute of limitations, but also I didn't do it.
I think it was Andrew McCabe, the FBI guy who I fired. He came out, he said, they've got no case. They've all come out and said it. And then you've had Andrew McCarthy, you've had Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Dershowitz, all of them, everybody, like, and they're, down the middle people. They see it, they say, there's no crime, there's no anything. Think of it, Tucker. I've been through 7 years
I love his mannerisms to a pillow. He's stimming.
of bull investigations, 7 years. They've looked at, I have a very big company, much bigger than they understand. In fact, when they finally got my taxes, they said, whoa. They took them years to get the taxes. They got them. That was the last you ever heard. You never heard one thing about them. But it took them years to get them because they shouldn't be looking at my taxes. I was surprised the Supreme Court gave them the right. They shouldn't be looking at people. That's sort of another one of the tenets. You don't do that. But I didn't care that much.
He's the president.
Yeah, you're the fucking. I've said
When
this,
you're running for the presidency, it's a little relevant
I've said this before.
because you have your takes, your actions are going to affect tax policy.
I've said this before, but I borderline think most high-ranking politicians should be the only form of second-class citizens that exist. I think that you should be kept on
True.
minimum fucking everything. I don't think you should be allowed to own currency even. You should be given things. And I think you should be a slave to the people because that would mean it's very hard for us to get politicians, but at that point, they have to actually want to fucking change things, I don't like the idea of politicians being able to make it a job. The idea of linking money to who changes my rights, fuck that. I would rather do things that I can't say because of TOS. It's just...
I just, on principle, I fought
Presidents
them.
do lose some rights.
And they looked, I built a great company. When you do the things that I do, and you employ thousands and thousands of people over the years, just thousands, we've done a great job. And then I ran for president. People were surprised that I won, but I used to see these rallies, and I'll tell you, the rallies are bigger now. The enthusiasm is more now than I've ever seen.
I highly doubt that. You won in 2016, lost in 2020. Do you think people changed their mind after changing back? Like they changed their mind about you once.
You
You
can't
think
have
they changed their mind back?
you can't have the enthusiasm from 2016 twice with the same person. That's just not happening.
No.
Like 2016, buddy, you'll never be that again. That's just there's just no way because that was everyone, right? You can't gain everyone back and then more.
And there's no like massive movement
Everyone
of people
in his voter
moving.
base.
Like there's no massive trend of people moving right. Except for like in the culture war online stuff, which is very niche, relatively speaking. there's a massive trend of people moving left.
Yeah.
And we've seen it reflected in voting.
The second you see corporations start to be pandering, corporations pandering doesn't mean that they're giving you their rights. It means that your rights are now just normal enough to be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
That's whenever changes is really fucking happening. You don't see any corporations pandering towards the right.
Yep. Because they know what makes them money. They know what the average person is looking for and what they're interested in.
Ever seen.
So what do you think, since your poll numbers have risen consistently since they raided this place, Mar-a-Lago?
Well, before they raided
In August.
they were going up substantially.
Dude, Mar-a-Lago is so fucking tacky. This is Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've always found stuff like that tacky as fuck.
That's his Florida resort. I've literally driven past it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like supposed to look like a French, like a state house.
Oh, there's your first mistake. It's French.
From like the 14th century.
Before,
They
but
definitely moved after
since
that.
then, they've really been going up.
So how do you think that your opponents will respond?
I don't know how well. We have two
Yeah, like a shitty Americanized chateau.
Yeah.
opponents. We have a primary opponent. We have a general election opponent.
I mean the Democratic Party using the legal system.
Well, what they're doing is they're finding, and think of this, they say 11 million pages, but whatever it is, through all of these Democrats' investigations.
This is literally just him playing the victim after he literally incited a coup to try to overturn the Democratic election results that deemed that he did not win the election. And he still maintains the position that led to said illegal attempted coup with the Capitol riot on January 6th. He has not let it go. He continues to push the same idea and still claims they had nothing to do with it.
One thing that's really different about Trump compared to some of his other conservative friends, Trump's actually like brain damage. Like he believes all this shit. He's actually that fucking stupid, right? And it's interesting seeing people like Tucker talk to him where there's these pauses and how Tucker's speaking. It looks like he's talking to a fucking child.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have deluded a lucky to be rich one of their dumbass voters into their fucking god king. And now they have to deal with talking to a child on public television.
Yeah. Trump is a lot like the average Republican voter. That's why they identify with him. Not in terms of his lifestyle. He's very wealthy and very successful. But in terms of his mindset and his personality, they're very much alike.
I had the Mueller hoax. I had impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2. Ukraine, Russia. You knew the Russia. I got that whole term from you, Russia. You'd be screaming and it'd say, this guy's a comedian. But you remember that whole period of time.
Literally, the Russia shit was real.
Yeah, that was just...
It was real. And Cohen got... Like, there were shit tons of people Trump was associated with that got indicted for it and served prison time. Cohen, Trump's lawyer and ex-lawyer and fixer, was one of them. Cohen specifically took the fall for Trump. It's like nationally broadly known. Cohen took the fall for Trump in the Russia scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was found definitively Trump made an active effort to attack the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton to improve Trump's chances of winning because they knew it is best for them. It is best for Russia, is what they said, for Trump to win.
Quite well.
It turned out to be a total fake. But think of this, I tell this story very seldom, but because it's a sad story. So the Russia hoax was made up by crooked Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff,
I've
the
never
DNC,
heard
the Democrat
him
Party.
refer to her as just
the
Hillary.
dossier is a
It's always
total
crooked
fake
Hillary.
thing. We're suing them now. As
He has nicknames for everybody. It's like schoolyard shit.
He's literally a child.
Mentally, at least.
you know on that. We're suing them a lot.
Is Melania Trump a pedophile? I'm just kidding.
Well, probably because of who she is, but maybe
Well, no,
maybe
like,
not because of Trump.
Because mentally,
I know,
yeah. But she is a Republican, so
Yeah.
There's no evidence she's not.
A lot because, unfortunately, Bill Barr didn't have the courage to do what he should have done. He was so afraid of being impeached. So I have to do it civilly. I have to sue people. The Justice Department should have done, because these are criminals. But think of this. So you have all of these millions and millions of pages, and they get you on a non-disclosure agreement? I mean, big numbers, billions and billions of dollars, right?
Billions. I love how he says billions.
Yeah,
It is one of my favorite things, billions and billions, because he's got like that really, like, New Yorky accent. billions, billions, billions of dollars.
How many?
Millions
You know,
of
actually,
dollars.
that brings me up with something. How many like women are we looking to see? How many widows are we looking to see that are like, oh my god, I'm glad that insert like conservative or rich dude bro guy is fucking dead. I never loved him. I was with him for the money. Like, how many times do you think that's gonna happen?
Trump is on his fourth wife, I think. Is it fifth or fourth?
Well, not specifically with Trump, but just with like these types in general.
There got to be a lot of those like trad wife e-girls that are looking for like
They want money.
conservative dudes
yeah.
that it's going to be very clear.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah. Potentially.
I have a name I cannot
They get
say,
you on a
or else I cause
perfect
problems.
non-disclosure agreement, or they get you on nothing. A friend of mine who's a big business guy said, you have to be the most honest guy in the world, because with all of those numbers that you have and those big numbers, they don't have anything. And you have to see, take a look at the people I just mentioned. Look, read what they said. There was no crime. In fact, a lot of people are saying he indicted somebody, there's no crime. That's illegal to do.
He definitively did it. Like, it's public knowledge that he's guilty. It's just a matter, and even if he is found guilty, it's just not like a serious result if he is, most likely. So he's not like, regardless of what happens, guilty or not, it's not going to impede his run, and it's not going to really like get in his way much. So he's just kind of like pretending like it's all like false, because even if he's found guilty and nothing happens, he'll be able to explain it off as like, they found me guilty and even then they couldn't lock me up.
I love when honest men reassure me with, they called me a very honest man, the most honest man.
The most honest, yeah. Yeah, of course. Very honest trait. Having to reassure your honesty.
Yeah.
You know what he did. So I don't see it going. I mean, we'll have to see.
So, but just to bottom line it, the purpose of this is to keep you out of the presidential race.
If I weren't running, or if I had bad poll numbers, let's say.
Well, Trump should be in prison for treason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly think that the Democrats, even if the Democrats are doing this unfairly and illegally, it would be justified because Trump has literally tried to obstruct the American democracy. He should be in prison for treason in a just America, but we don't have a fair system, and the Republicans will not act nonpartisanly to enforce the rules of this country on those that are on their side. So I'm fine with the Democrats doing this. Even if it was dishonest, I'd be fine with it. But it is honest. Like, Trump has committed these crimes. So this is completely legal and honest.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. The Democrats are too pussy to do anything illegal. They hardly know how to do things legally to succeed in the first place.
It feels like when Democrats do something illegal, it's almost certainly an accident, too. Like Hillary Clinton's email thing.
Yeah.
Like, the Hillary Clinton email thing was literally her being lazy and inept. There wasn't any scandal there. Like, she wasn't hiding things or doing any, like, secret dealings, from my understanding. It was literally that she was just doing government work on a server, an email server that was private and not a government one. Which is illegal and a big deal, but
there's a difference in the level of maliciousness between I fucked up with where I store my emails because I'm an old fuck who's technologically illiterate.
Yeah.
And I staged a coup or something, I guess.
I don't even know what an email server is.
An email server? So you know the at the end of a, like, at Gmail or something like that? The way people have custom ones is that's their custom website. So an email server is just a website that handles that.
Okay.
More or less.
Right.
And again, remember, the Democrats are the party of disinformation. If they want you...
I love disinformation. He's so funny.
The greatest thing is when Republicans just accuse the left of everything they're doing.
It's so, like...
And they out the plan. They literally tell us what they're planning to do. And what they are. They admit it in the form of accusations of the left. The right is the party of disinformation.
Yeah.
To run. If they want to run against somebody, they're going to go the opposite. For instance, they don't want to run against. And now, I just gave you a poll. I'm 9 points up on Biden. But they're the party of disinformation. So what they say is, oh, we want to run against Trump. Now, they always do that. You know, they do that. and other people would do it, but they do it pretty much better than others.
Is there anything they could?
He's trying to cope and say that the reason the Democrats say they want to run against Trump is like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
He's trying to cope. The
I think
Democrats
that
want
might
to
be,
run
like,
against
the most
Trump.
advanced thing I've ever heard him say, though. There was like some like the wheels turned a bit there. That's a surprisingly advanced plan to come from him. I wonder who told him about it.
I think he talks off the cuff. I think
Yeah.
that's Trump's specialty. Sometimes he talks. You can tell when it's teleprompter Trump, and when it's Trump.
When it's off the cuff Trump, he almost always gets interrupted by whoever's interviewing him shortly after. They're like, hey, okay, let's reel it back.
Because he just drones on and gets really extreme.
Could throw at you legally that would convince you to drop out of the race? If you get convicted in this case in New York,
No,
would
I'd
you
never
out?
drop out. No, I'd never drop. It's not my thing. I wouldn't do it.
What do you think of that, Ethan?
I think it's very clear that they have this fucking child on a baby leash that they use because for some reason this child's a fucking unstoppable idol.
What do you think? How would you? Do you think Trump's gonna win?
Okay, so if it's a Trump win and like it's Biden v Trump, I give it 60% Dems, 40% Republicans, right? If it is a DeSantis win, I give it 90% Dems, 10% Republicans. And that is not a Biden did anything good kind of vote. That is a kind of guess. That is a Republican ineptitude kind of guess. I do not think the left really ever earns its wins. Very rarely will I say the left has ever earned a win. They are simply given them because they are lucky enough to be on the right side, and eventually the bad guys pick up.
Yeah, pretty much. That's usually how it goes. I can agree with that.